All right, I got sound this time. Oh, technology is so fantastic. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. All right, so we'll start from the beginning. Happy New Moon in Leo. This is Amanda, and this is take 2. Today we are celebrating the new moon in Leo. And then the new moon is when the earth, the earth, the moon, and the sun are all in alignment. So we see the dark side of the moon because the sun is illuminating the other side. In today's practice, I'm just going to have a mat. I'm going to have some blocks. So feel free to grab a chair or a cushion, something, because we're going to be pretty much on the ground for the majority of today's practice. So go ahead and we're going to just start by grabbing a seat. I'm going to sit in an easy cross-legged pose. If this is not your thing and you are more comfortable sitting on a chair or with your legs extended, go ahead and do you. So today's new moon is in Leo, which is a fire sign. It is a symbol of the lion, right? But instead of thinking of the male lion, we are going to be harnessing the power of the lioness. She is courageous, she is powerful, she is confident, and her power and her energy are the things that we are going to harness in this new moon. The new moon is a blank slate. It is starting over. It is a fresh start. It is rock bottom, if you will. And it also gives you the ability to plan and create the life that you want going forward. So note, if you put your moon water out last night and have not got it in, pause right now, go get it and bring it in. Definitely want to get it out of the sun so that you keep the energy of the moon trapped into your water. The Leo itself rules the heart and the spine. So today's yoga practice is going to incorporate those, opening up the heart and working on maintaining a straight spine. I don't know about you, but for me, I spend a lot of time on my cell phone or sitting at my desk with my shoulders hunched over, my back rounded. And today we are going to work on opening up our chest and keeping a tall spine. Today is also August the 8th, which is the 8th day of the 8th month. And the new moon is happening at 8:50 today. So fun fact, the new moon usually happens during the daytime because of the way that the alignment of the planets work. So just a fun fact of that. So we are going to have a 888 day going on right now in our yoga practice. The 8 has been traditionally the symbol or the number of prosperity and abundance. So harnessing that in today's practice and remembering that you have the ability to create the life that you want is super important as we go forward to plan and manifest our dreams for this new moon phase. So first off, let's get started. Have a seat on the ground. I'm sitting on yoga blocks. It feels better for me with my hips above my knees, and it's just way more comfortable for my body. Feel free to sit on a chair or a cushion, whatever you feel comfortable with. And we are just going to start connecting with our breath. And I invite you to just put a hand on your heart center. Just apply light pressure so that you have a focal point as we close our eyes, and we'll just start connecting with our breath. So I invite you to start inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Allowing your breath to deepen And as you start to connect with your breath, you'll find that your mind will try and distract you. And I just want you to come back to that feeling of the pressure on your chest when you feel like you're getting pulled away in your thoughts. And thoughts are going to happen as we sit here in our breath work. It's our brain's way of trying to stay important and top of mind. And you're just going to let the thoughts happen, but you're just going to remember to direct yourself back to the feeling of your hand on your heart center. And we're just going to breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. And you can just take your breaths that are comfortable for you. We're just going to focus on slowing down in the moment, connecting to our body. This might be the hardest part of today's yoga practice, is getting still and quiet, even though we have so many things on our to-do list. But for right now, we're just going to focus on your breath, on the pressure of your heart center. And we'll just take 5 more breaths. And if thoughts pop in, just redirect back to the feeling of your hand on your heart. You don't need to buy into the story. And when you've done 5, we're just going to put our hands down, and we are going to do some gentle side bends. So I want you to sit up tall. Make sure your sit bones are firmly into your cushion or your chair or your blocks. I'm going to put my left hand down, and I'm just going to reach over in a gentle side bend. I'm going to keep my chest open to the front. And then as I come up, I'm going to just wrap my arms in a little hug. And then we'll do the next side. So the right hand down, left hand open, or left hand over. Open up that chest. And then when you come up, switch which hand was on front. And we'll do 4 more. So right hand over top, chest open. Feel free to look up to your hand. Come center and give yourself a gentle hug. You'll feel the stretch between your shoulder blades. And go the other way. Open up that chest. And other arm on top for a gentle hug. Now 2 more. So 1 more each side. It's really important to remember that while we're giving ourselves a hug here, we are honoring our heart. We are reminding ourselves that we matter, and that we are connecting with our heart because it will guide us. All right, now we're just going to do some twisting. So bring your left hand behind you, right hand on your thigh. I'm going to put my left hand on my lower back. Spine tall, chest open, and then come forward, and we'll go the other way. Nice little twist. You don't have to reach very far. And if you are using a chair, feel free to grab onto the back of the chair to allow yourself that turn And last one on this side here. Fantastic. We are going to go into cat and cow. So let's transition down to the mat on our hands and knees. I'm just going to move my blocks out of the way and hopefully you can see me with my cat. So we are going to be in a quadruped position, like on our hands and knees and tabletop. When we round up, we are going to push our hands into the mat as hard as we can and round that spine. You'll feel the separation of your shoulder blades and a beautiful stretch in there. And then when we come down, we're going to push our chest forward and our head up. So we'll begin. And you can breathe however you want, and you can take as long as you want in each of the different positions. We'll round and push into the ground. Bring your spine all the way up to the ceiling, and then drop your belly and bring your gaze forward. Remember, we're not shrugging. Our shoulders and our ears are actually frenemies, so we don't like them to spend too much time together because of the drama that they create. And we're just going to spend some time here rounding and releasing. You don't have to look up very high when you are in your cow position. And if you're in your cat position with the rounded spine, make sure you're not leaning backwards, that you're staying with your shoulders above your wrists so that you get the full stretch right in there. And we'll just do 2 more at your own pace. And 1 more. There you go. Now we are going to work on some threading the needle. So I'm just going to turn so that you can see me. So we're going to stay in our quadruped pose, but we're just going to bring our hips back, put our arm underneath, and this time we are going to open the chest and look under our arm so that we keep our chest open and get a great stretch in our back. So lean your hips backwards and bring the right arm under the left and see if you can put the side of your head down. If you can't, grab a block and just rest your head on the block. And just enjoy the stretch behind the shoulder. You can have your hand up or down. I find if I have my hand down, the stretch is a little bit more intense. And I need that. And then we'll come and transition to the other side. So right hand goes out, left hand comes under, and you're going to give yourself a gentle turn and look under that arm. And just take some breaths here. And we'll do 1 more each side. You'll feel that stretch in your upper back, which will help us with our posture when we're sitting at desks or staring at our phone. Find your comfortable position. Feel free to put a block under your head. You can even do this sitting on the chair, or not sitting on the chair, but using the chair. Put your hands on the chair so that you're not down all the way to the floor, if that feels better for you. So this is our last one here. Perfect. And now we're just going to give our wrists a little break. We're going to push back into puppy pose. So we're going to keep our hips up high, and we're going to drop our chest towards the ground. You may feel some snap, crackle, and pop as your body gets into alignment. I find it comfortable if I rest my chin, I'll go this way, on the mat. So I'm like this. Keep your hips high. You'll feel the release in your lower back. You can curl your toes. You can release your toes. And if this is too much, just drop your knees wider and come down into a child's pose, whatever feels comfortable for you. Remember, nothing I ask, or everything that I ask, is not a request or a requirement. It's more of an opportunity for you to explore. And just take some breaths here and connect with your heart center again. As it's down on the mat, you can connect with the feeling. And we'll come and shift our body forward. And we're going to go into a cobra pose. So we're going to shift forward, drop our hips to the floor. If this is too much of a stretch, I want you to come down and do more of a sphinx pose. Forearms flat on the mat, and you're just going to bring your chest forward and up. Remember, we're focusing on our heart center and always keeping it open. So this is a beautiful stretch for our lower back. I want you to squeeze your booty to protect that lower back of yours. And then if you feel more comfortable or ready, you're going to go into cobra, but remember what I said. You're not sinking into your shoulders. Our shoulders and our ears are frenemies. So stay away. And then we're just going to shift back again into puppy or child's pose. And feel the opposite stretch. You'll be more focused in your shoulder blades rather than your lower back. And we'll do one more. Lean forward, drop your hips, stay in Sphinx if that feels better for you. And if you want, you can just slowly come up into Cobra. Legs stay on the ground, tighten your booty, your legs to help protect that lower back of yours. And we'll do 2 more breaths here. Remember to open up through the heart. And we're going to push back and we'll go into child's pose this time. So knees wide, toes together, and just drop your hips in between. Feel free to grab your block or a cushion. You can rest your head or your chest on it. And we'll just take some breaths here. And we'll just connect again with our heart. That's today's focus right now. Is your heart talking to you? Does it have any messages that it wants to share? Too many times I feel that we spend too much of our time in our head instead of our heart. We'll take a couple more breaths and just relax into this pose. All right, so we're going to transition into a low lunge. We're going to stay down on the mat. I'm getting my blocks here. So I'm going to bring my right foot forward. I'm keeping my left leg on the mat, but I'm going to work on pushing my hips forward, okay? You want to make sure that you're getting a stretch in the hip flexor of the leg that's on the ground. You can bring your arms up. Remember again, shoulders away from the ears. I'm gonna bring mine to my heart center. And I'm just gonna close my eyes and have some deep breaths here. I'm pressing my thumbs against my heart center so I can connect again with my heart. I'm keeping my shoulders back, up, back, and down, keeping my spine tall. My head is in alignment with my spine. I'm not down or up. I'm just really neutral here. And as you close your eyes, you will be challenged with your balance. And if it's too much, I want you to just keep your eyes open and just breathe into the stretch. Your front leg will be working on stability and your back leg will be feeling the stretch. We'll take one more deep inhale in through the nose. And I want you to make an audible exhale, so big sigh. And then we'll put our hands down to our block or on your chair, and we'll just shift back and give the front leg a little attention here. Just a little stretch behind the hamstring, keeping again your back as straight as you can. And then we'll bring that leg back. And we'll bring our other leg forward. So get yourself into position, get yourself nice and stable, making sure that your knee is over your ankle. You can't really see with my blocks in the way. I'm going to release that back toe, and I'm just going to give myself a little push through the hips to bring my hips towards the mat, feeling the stretch on my hip flexor. I'm going to inhale my arms up, bring them together, and exhale to heart center. And I'm going to try and close my eyes again and keep my balance here. And just breathe through the stretch. Oops, I'm losing my balance. And connect with your heart center. And I know that thoughts are going to keep popping up, and don't worry, they're meant to. Part of being still isn't so much being quiet, it's about understanding when to connect with the thoughts that pop into your head and when to just let them pass on by. All right, let's bring our hands down and we'll shift back and give that front leg a little love. You'll feel the stretch in your hamstring, maybe in your calf, perhaps in the top of your toes. And then from here, just bring your other leg back, and we're going to go into a camel pose. I am just going to put my hands in my back pocket. Like if I was wearing jeans, I'd have my hands in my back pocket. I'm going to open the chest, keep my head in alignment with my spine, and give myself a gentle back bend. Excuse me. I'm tightening up my glutes. I'm tightening up my quads. I'm not leaning back. I'm bending from my hips. And it's just a gentle chest opener, back bend. Remember to try and get your elbows, or think of keeping your elbows together. And just kind of have some breaths in here. So inhale and exhale. And then come and sit down. We'll go into that one more time, and then we will flip onto our backs after this. So if you want to get more adventurous, you can feel free to bring your blocks beside your calves or put your chair behind you. And we're just going to inhale our arms up. I'm going to go one at a time. I'm going to swing my right arm behind me, grab my block. But I have to remember, this is about keeping my shoulders and my chest open. And if I can get my second hand, I can. Shoulders are open, and you can always just stay here with your hands in your back pockets. You're getting a glorious chest opening stretch. And still working the lower body as you're tightening up your glutes, your legs to help support your back. All right, and come down. Great job. So let's transition over onto our back. And we're gonna do some bridge pulses. Bridge, you're just going to plant your legs firmly down where as comfortable as you can bend them. And we're just gonna bring our hips up and down. We're gonna do 10. And then on the last one, like on number 10, we're gonna hold it up for a count of 5. Okay? So we'll go up for 1 and down, and 2 and down, and 3 and down, 4 and down, 5 and down. Remember to keep our feet planted. We're keeping our knees separate. They're not shifting from side to side. So that's 8, 9, and on this one here, you're gonna go up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Great job. So let's transition back up to sitting. I'm going to grab my blocks again, and I'm gonna have a seat on them. And just like we started, we are gonna finish with a little bit of breath work. So find an easy seat, however comfortable it feels. I want you to put your hand on your heart center again. I invite you to close your eyes and just take some breaths now. And we've had some time to open up our heart center, to bring our shoulders back, to keep our spine tall. We've got some mobility in with our cat-cow and our thread the needle. So it's time to just connect back with our heart. Let it know that we are here, that we're listening, that we're open to receive the messages that it gives us. Too many times we spend, like I said, all our time up in our head and our brain, while, really good at keeping our body alive, it doesn't always pay attention to our mental health or the things that really matter, the emotions, the love that we need. And connecting with your heart center will help bring more of that into your life. Our brain is really reactive and our heart is really slow acting. So sometimes we need to take moments like this to just tune in and connect and let it know that we are here, that we're listening, that we're interested in what it has to say. Our heart is pretty much the center of our body. It is the 4th chakra. So there's 3 below and 3 above it. It's pretty much right in the balance of the gut and the head stuff. So paying attention to what our heart says, because it will take it will balance out our gut and our head really well. So keep your breaths nice and deep. And we'll do 4 more breaths. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. And when you're ready, I want you to open your eyes. And I want to thank you for joining me for today's Heart Opening Yin. It is a little step up from restorative. I'm not a fan of restorative yoga. I need to move more in order to connect with my body. So at any time, if you feel that you could have went slower, I definitely recommend you finding the moves that work for you and doing them more often. I hope you have a fantastic new moon in Leo, a 888 day, and remind yourself to always connect with the heart and listen to what it has to say, because like I said, it is our balance in our body between the analytical and the 100% emotional instinct from our 100% instinct. It's the nice little balance that we have. So enjoy your Sunday, and thanks again for joining me. Have a good one.